What's going on, guys? Welcome to the show. Welcome to another Thursday night and episode 4 of season 1 of Riverdale. This is so exciting. Miss Grundy is maybe out of town for good. I hope not. She might come back, but, legally she should be gone. So we're going to break the whole episode down for you guys. We're here for AFTERBUZZ TV. I'm excited to talk about it. We'll see you in just one quick second.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, I thought we were just going to come in on the chorus of the song. Now
No,
I feel like we gotta wait
classics.
for it.
You gotta know what the chords are up top.
And we gotta let it play out a little bit, Ben.
Yeah, that's true. You guys will catch on to what
Deep
this
cuts
is.
only.
Relevant.
If you don't, I think you need to go back to film school. Just a couple of you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV. This is the after show for Riverdale, the hottest new show on television. My literal, actual favorite new show on TV.
Yes.
Like, it's not even an exaggeration. I don't say that on every after show.
No. This is the best new show of the season,
Yeah.
for sure,
Yes.
hands down.
It's like so good.
Fight me for it.
Yeah. There you go, Mrs. Robinson. Played originally by...
Simon Garfunkel,
Simon
Yeah.
and Garfunkel.
No, the character of the movie, I mean, from The Graduate. Who?
Dustin Hoffman, obviously.
I know the actor, but I can't remember the character's name.
No, the actress, Mrs. Robinson.
Oh,
is
Mrs. Robinson.
Anne Bancroft? No.
Anne
No.
Bancroft, yeah.
It is Anne Bancroft?
It's gotta
I'm
be, right?
Pretty sure, yeah.
We are great, guys.
Yeah. So that is what we were going to talk about, The Graduate and who plays all the characters.
Yes.
Just kidding. This is the Riverdale After Show. We're going to break down Riverdale for you, and this is the 4th episode of Season 1, so this is titled The Last Picture Show, lifted
Yes.
from yet another classic movie.
Soup's classic.
Yeah, 1971 movies. They're going way, way old school on us with this one.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys think, because the whole theme of the comic books back in the day was them kind of being stuck in a time period, so
Yeah.
I'm loving all of these references.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, and they're trying to maintain some of that old, like, classic nostalgia mixed with new generation stuff. So there's lots of good references to new culture, but there's also a drive-in. I mean, I can't think of the last time I even drove past a drive-in. Like
There
a
are
physical
3
drive-in.
major drive-ins
We have
here in
one-
Are there?
Hollywood. Yes, they are amazing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want
and
to go.
Huh?
I
You
wanna
should
go.
go. It's super fun. They do classic ones like Pretty in Pink. They'll do double features.
cool.
And you can also do the one at, oh my gosh, what's the famous Hollywood Forever Cemetery?
That one
also is a
I've
great
done.
drive.
That's not a drive-in, though.
Well, it's not. You're
I grew
outside
up
of a
with the
car, but it's
drive-in.
still dope.
Yeah.
I grew up with driving. We still have it where I'm from.
Okay,
it's
so this
like
is a
the
thing.
most awesome. I loved going with my friends. Like, it wasn't just because like I was dating somebody. I went with my friends and
Yeah.
the last movie I think we saw together was like Cars 2. And we just like sat in my
Yeah.
car and watched Cars 2 play, and it was just
Yeah.
for us to talk and hang out with each other.
Jughead has it handled.
Yeah.
Let's just hope he does.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't think so, because he was here. UZ. W-U-Z. So, guys, we're gonna get into the whole entire episode for you. But before we do, we should remind you that we're a brand new after show and we're on iTunes. If you guys want to give us a rating or review there, it is super helpful. The more of those we have, the higher we are in the standings. People find it. We
We're
can
just really
continue to
close.
provide free podcasts, free content, which is what we want to do here. We're never going to charge, but we can only do it if you guys help us out with rating, review, click like, all those things. And I have this awesome panel with me right here, and we
Hey.
should introduce the panel. So, guys, where can they find you on Twitter? What's your names?
Twitter.
I said Twitter.
You guys can
Okay.
find me, Sam Davidson, SamD43, and we are in the live chat right now. You guys have been there for hours. We love you, trying to catch up. So just keep on chatting, and I have copy and pasted some of your amazing comments from the past 3 hours. So just keep on doing it.
Awesome.
Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones, filling in again, and I'm super excited to be here. You can find me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at blackgirlnerds.com.
And I am Ben Bateman. You can find me at Ben Bateman Media. And you can find us competing against each other
Yes.
in the Ultimate Movie Trivia Schmodown on March
gonna be fun.
14th on Schmo's Collider. It's like a trivia contest, and it's crazy. We're going to have to, like, duke it out. So
Yeah, pick teams, guys. You know, hashtag Team Ben or hashtag Team Joelle.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm, like, so excited. But I'm more excited for Riverdale, so let's talk about it.
I love that you love Riverdale so much. I just want to say this, Ben, because like you are a straight male.
Right.
That's
And
true.
I feel like, straight guys usually, and even like straight girls that are, in their late 20s, like I
Yeah.
am, are like, this show's stupid. I'm like, it's not stupid. And
like- it's
you
like-
need to love it.
It's like appreciate it for exactly what it is, which is like I say it like every week. I reference the OC because that was the show that I watched when I was like 15, and I loved it so much. And I feel like I can just do it again.
See, I've been telling people that it's a mix between Desperate Housewives and Twin Peaks, and they're like, what?
Yeah,
And
right.
I'm like, no, it's definitely that. There's like murdery step, like backstabbingness, and like crazy teachers. It's amazing.
I tell people it's like Veronica Mars, at least for me. Like the
Yeah.
whole narration.
Yeah.
Like it brings me back, and I'm such a Marshmallow fan. Like,
Did
we
you
rock.
donate to the Kickstarter?
I'm broke. I'm a broke. I'm a broke artist, guys.
I
But
donated
in faith,
$30.
I went to the movie. I paid for it, so I donated that way. If that counts or anything in life right now.
You would donate your time to review it. That's what you would do.
No, I got paid to go see the movie. Like,
What's really fun about this show is that it kind of encapsulates all of the shows that we have loved in the past like decade, and it like resonates something with every person of these huge like breaking shows.
While still staying loyal and true to the original text, which is really dope.
It's also really nice that in an era that is so dominated by adaptations of comic book properties, this gets to feel like it has this like comic booky sort of like nerd feel without going like heavy into sci-fi.
It's
And
like
they do it
noir.
more with those subtle references, which is really cool with the like the
It's
pop
definitely
culture
has that
references
noir
and deep
feel.
cuts.
What?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yes.
so Davey Elmer in the chat just literally read my mind, said, this show is more of a noir, One Tree Hill, and I've said that in the past.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say I was a little lonely on Valentine's Day night, and I was like, I'm just going to start One Tree Hill again.
was
And
it?
Jared
Amazing.
Scoggin said, Sam, I donated it too to Veronica Mars. So yay, thank you.
I love
Yeah,
that.
any other marshmallows out there, please let us know, because we're few and far between.
I know, and it kind of like, no, like it sucks. Like I love that show so much. I wanted a 4th season. But I'm happy the movie gave me all the feels, and Veronica and Logan forever, so I'm happy in my life.
Excellent. So let's jump into the episode. Start it off. We get this like really awkward performance where Miss Grundy is performing and Fred and Archie show up. And we all had that thought for a second where afterwards when Fred's like, no, I insist, we have to take you out. Like, oh my God, it's happening. It's really gonna go down this road. This is so awkward. And I know they were dangling the carrot for us right there. And I'm glad they did because it kept it exciting. But luckily we don't go down that road.
Thank
Yes.
God.
And we get the reveal right away at Pop Tate's where Betty like sees them and she's just like, I gotta get to the bottom of this. Archie, I need to talk to you about school stuff outside right now. In the parking lot.
I love Betty. Betty's doing the Lord's work here. Like, somebody needs to inform Archie that this relationship is not healthy. And while Betty's intentions may not be the most up and up, like, you know, maybe she's not
Pure.
doing it just for Archie's the best, like,
But his best well-being.
As
Exactly.
in Betty's quote, love makes you do crazy things.
It
Betty's
sure does.
crazy.
it sure does. Like, you know,
But in a
jump
way,
into a teacher's car and, like, look for her gun.
I mean,
Crazy
like
stuff.
Jimmy, like you fixed cars with your dad. He taught you how to use
Right.
an old school Jimmy hack on an old school car.
So smart.
I'll tell you, that was a lot less offensive to me, like her knowing how to break into a car and then also pick a lock on a lockbox in
it
like
was a lot
seconds
more sexy.
than
That actually is true.
Rosita in The Walking Dead knowing how to like disarm dynamite and like being like, everybody strip the dynamite, don't mess anything up in this week's Walking Dead, which was like just glaring, but this was like a lot more, you know.
Yeah, this is
digestible.
like a boom, boom.
Yeah.
I'm good, guys.
Like she's like, give me a like I know
Yeah.
you have one, give it to me.
Give me a
I'm
Bobby
like,
pin.
"Look,
But
Yeah.
I did notice like some kind. I keep on noticing parallels between the parents and the kids.
Yeah.
And I think that Betty, in a way, was being Alice to Archie. She was like, Archie, no. Archie, don't do this. I know better. And like maybe back in the day, that's what Alice was. She was just like, don't do this. And then it kind of got taken too far.
Yeah, could be. So we have this intro, and Betty finds out. So then Veronica storms out. She's like, and I love that Kevin says that line where he's like, "What was it like before she got here? I honestly can't remember."
I wrote that, and
Yeah.
I loved it so much because I love shows that like we started it with them.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like the inciting character starts the inciting incident, and we are there. It's not like we are just visitors. We started with the inciting character.
Right. Like this was this boring, sleepy town before
Yeah.
this all happened, but now it's just jumping off right now. Yeah, I'm into it. So anyway, we have this interaction in the parking lot. Veronica finds out. They're starting to convince Archie, you gotta get to the bottom of this. Like she could be dangerous. Also, you're 15 and she's a pedophile. That's a detail that the show like kind of like pokes and prods at, but like no one ever just like beats Archie over the head and just like, she was dating Jason Blossom, probably. You're 15. That's totally illegal. That's like...
It's like they don't want to say the word pedophile, but Betty definitely says, this feels illegal. And then Veronica is obviously more concerned for his mental health, where she's like, you're in over your head and you need to slow down. I do kind of wish they would maybe like
Say
just
it.
once be like, yeah, you're a pedophile.
Well,
That's
right.
gross.
It's weird because, like, okay, illegal, pedophile. The word pedophile has this connotation that is, like, every bit as bad as you think. It's like as bad as it gets. The word illegal is like people do illegal things all the time. They roll a stop sign.
Stealing
They
a candy bar,
They steal a
yeah.
candy bar. Like, it's the kind of thing where, like, you know, if somebody's like, well, when I was 19, I stole a Snickers. You're like, well, that's illegal. But it's like, pedophile? No. Like, it's different
Totally
conversation.
different
So they don't
connotations.
use the word. And I think that's interesting because, you know, I was saying this while we were watching it, but, like, you watch these type of shows and you realize that a lot of the actors that are playing high school are probably like 25 in real life.
Yeah.
And
Well-
they kind of look that way if you want to look at them that way.
Yeah, Archie does not look like any 15-year-old I've ever seen.
I mean, he looks young to
yeah.
me, but I just do
Depending
want
on what high
to
school you go to. That's all I
give
got.
a shout out to Betty for saying the booty tutor.
That's a
Yes,
good line,
because
yeah.
that is the best line of the night.
Yes,
I
people
have-
in the
yeah.
chat are booty tutoring it.
Definitely
and
hashtag
Yeah.
booty tutor tonight because
Yes.
amazing.
Hashtag booty tutor?
Yes.
booty tutor.
Like I like how she was like, just technically, you know, she's right, but ethically, like that's a
Yeah, it's totally wrong.
we're going on the whole ethics thing now, and you need to put your mind in that mindset. Like this whole lovey-dovey is not gonna
Right.
last. This dream won't last.
Well, we're clearly experiencing the entire thing from Archie's point of view, which is disregard the illegality, disregard the suspicion, disregard the fact that her backstory is pretty suspect, and just believe her for what she is. And they want us to see through Archie's lens. And maybe this swings back later in the season, and we find out there's more to it. So she might come back.
I didn't believe anything she said.
See,
There's not one where I was like, this sob story is not working for me. I don't buy it. You could have chosen
That
any
is true.
name and you landed on Geraldine Grundy,
Yeah.
which is a woman who died. So I'm assuming you like took over her identity. Like, I don't believe you. And then she had those Lolita glasses on at the end and thirsting after sailors. I was like, ma'am, you're problematic. And I look forward to her return because I know it's going to bring the drama. But I'm also glad we get to hopefully see like one episode where Archie's like distance himself from that.
I also just think that, like, just to be totally fair, she tutored Jason Blossom. She looks like the way she even dresses in like the short shorts and the glasses, like that's how she rolls around town. It's like a town with like a few thousand people. You don't think people would have seen her and like, Miss Grundy, she's like definitely pushing the envelope for a teacher a little bit here. What's going on?
yeah, and she has those heart red shaped glasses
Yeah,
she
right.
keeps on tipping
And,
around
like,
town.
That's her move.
I
I
think
know,
those
I'm
are
like,
Lolita
those
glasses.
shorts.
Which I
short
love,
shorts.
by the way.
Like, did you not see those short shorts when she got in her car?
Yeah.
Those are some short shorts.
And
I
by
saw
the
the short-
way,
I saw
like,
the short shorts.
I bet you did. Like,
it was Veronica that said booty tutor and not Betty.
Yeah.
Apologies, guys. Veronica.
So this begs the question: Who is Miss Grundy? Because we get an explanation from her that she was in an abusive relationship.
so she says.
And she ends up in the hospital, and she is pulling every single television plot cliche of an abusive relationship in the book and throwing it at a teenager.
Yeah.
And she's literally using all of them, right? She doesn't even say like, "This is what happened. He beat me with this thing." She's like, literally, oh no,
Shoot.
God.
Oh, shoot.
we had a water spill on a computer.
Spilled water all over the computer.
So we'll keep talking, Sam. If you want to go grab some, so you don't ruin your computer. It's
Oh, I'm
probably
so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I think, well, you know what?
Yeah, just
Yeah, I got it on my own computer.
well, yeah. We'll,
Okay.
we'll continue talking if you want to try to get it fixed. So
All right, we'll get
that's a good move. So,
I
we
am
have-
so sorry, guys.
we have this whole entire thing this whole story she sells about who she is and what her backstory is, and Archie eats it all up. He's
Well,
like,
of course he does. It's
'Cause it-
delivered in such a way like it's
Yeah.
immediately like I need help.
Right.
Like and you know, in my experience, guys like to feel like the savior. You know, and Archie especially, who's he's been like this good kid, and like even when he's making a mistake, he's usually doing it for the right reason. Like he's always coming from the best place. And when he sees that she's hurt, like his instant reaction is like, "Oh, don't be sad. I can help."
right.
You know. So,
Your face was
and
like
it just
freezing.
feels like it feels like it's upsetting to watch somebody get used like that, and it really like bothers me to my core because I feel like she knew exactly what she was doing. I do not believe that any of the things she said are true, even a little bit.
I agree. I'm wondering, Sam, the best move on that is once you towel it off, put it upside down and just leave it on the couch to drain the other way. I've
Tips
done
on how to
this.
fix your computer, guys.
I've done this to my computer before.
As have I.
and if you
Lots of
put it-
hand dryers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I didn't believe anything she said. I totally think she's full of it. And you wonder, okay, so if that really was the case, and she had moved from another town, and she had changed her name, and all these things she said were true, somebody in the principal's office would know this. She wouldn't be able to get away with, like, I came here, I'm a new identity. Like, she would, in the job process, she would have to say, I moved, it was an abusive relationship, I got out of it, I changed my name, I had experience in other schools. Please keep this information confidential for my
Identity
safety.
theft because they found a Geraldine who died just a couple of weeks ago. We know that
7 years.
7 years ago. Okay,
Yeah.
excuse me. And we know that she hasn't been in town that long. Like, I think she didn't have to. I think she just assumed that new identity and was like, la la la, here I am. Because she, even when Archie asked her, like, oh, or no, Betty was interviewing her for like her fake article, and she was like, yeah, so where'd you go before? And she was quick with those lies, man. She was like, oh, just filling in for like, pregnancies and stuff. And I was like, this girl knows what's up. Like, she's practiced, she's prepared, and that makes her dangerous.
I know. She like started listing the schools she had taught at here and there, Seaside, blah blah blah. It's like, I think she was full of it because that's the other thing is she's got a gun and her old ID in her car, not in her house, in her car. That's like very conspicuous.
It's a quick getaway.
Totally. And yeah, I think she's full of it, and I think it's going to come back. And the biggest thing we touched on was that, it's not like they actually solved the problem, which is that like there's information that was probably in Betty's journal that she had tutored Jason Blossom. But Jason Blossom is now dead. She was at the lake. Like, all of these things are problems. And they just are like, get in your car and get out of here.
Well,
that's a mistake. That's going to come back to bite
technically,
them.
Alice did call her predator, which I saw before I accidentally spelled that was Aisha Wilson on YouTube. Like, she said, she did say call her predator, and so did Veronica.
Yeah.
Like, made a comment about it.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
booty
also,
tutor. I prefer booty tutor.
Booty tutor, as Veronica said. Something that like was commented, I think, last week was that Grundy could possibly be Sabrina's aunt because when she started,
sure.
I mean, I'm not really sure about that, but I do think that she might be somehow tied to a supernatural
Sure.
element, and it's not because like she left so fast. She didn't want the real thing to be like let out about her.
It definitely seems like this is going to come back because they are every seed they've planted so far in the show has connected to another dot and has added up to something else. So this person knows this person, this guy is Jughead's dad, so on and so forth. So I do think that she will have another role.
Oh, this
I
guy.
feel like
Sure, be
everything
back.
they show is for a reason. Like, they don't do, nothing is done by chance on the show at all.
That's why I watch each episode 5 times.
All right, so moving on from who Miss Grundy is, we have a brand new love interest in the show.
Yes,
And I'm so
excited! What? Sorry. Gay ships are my favorite ships. All of them.
it's
Doesn't
so
matter.
cute.
Like, lesbian, bi, transgender, I don't care. Every gay ship is everything to me. It's so fast. The minute they exchange looks, I was like, this is it. This
Me
is Joelle's
too.
ship for the show.
I
Let's
was like,
go.
yes! Give me sexy eyes and give me Kevin. Just put them together in a room and just...
Sheriff's kid and the snake.
Right, no, but their name, like, because it's Joaquin and Kevin, but, like, if you just call them Joaquin, because their names, like, match. They're the
They
same person,
do.
basically, and it's so cute.
Oh my
Joaquin?
god, I'm done.
Joaquin and Kevin, it's like, they in the same, so it can be whatever. You can
You
say
wouldn't
Kevin, you
wanna
can
call
say
it the
Joaquin.
same.
Wouldn't Walk Kevin be better?
Joaquin.
No, it sounds terrible.
It
That
sounds
doesn't roll off
terrible.
the tongue, Ben.
Joaquin?
No ship name.
You
What?
want Joaquin?
No, Joaquin. His name's Joaquin.
What about Wakev?
Joaquin.
Now that's just
Okay,
stupid.
that's actually kind of
That's pretty
funny.
Big shout out to Mark Donica in the booth. Credit Mark Donica
Shipmaster.
with the Joaquin. No, I love that Kevin's dad is like, is there not a nice gay kid in school? And he's like,
Yes,
no
me.
cruising tonight. Those woods are dangerous. So we all see the look, and we're like, okay, I think we all can gather where this is probably going.
Yes.
And so then it cuts back to it, and it's like the slow pan up, and you see the fence is shaking, and the 2 sets of feet. And first you're like, okay, is he beating him up? Is this some like really raunchy sex thing that we're gonna see right now? I was like, I don't think this is gonna happen, but like, I guess it could. And then it gets to exactly what you're hoping, which is just like
Just making out.
aggressive
see.
making out against the
Yes.
fence.
He kissed the snake, and it made me so happy.
And I'm so with you. Oh my gosh, like,
But will it be a mistake, guys?
No,
this relationship
it
is
cannot be a
everything.
mistake.
Let this be love for life. It's gonna be bad though, because
They
his
might be
father
wrong.
is so cool. Like,
but
for
not
being,
that cool. I don't think he'll.
That's what
be
I'm
that
saying though.
cool.
It's like it was really cool to see like if you read the comics, Kevin later joins the military, becomes senator. His dad is a sheriff. I think he's ex-army. So it's really cool that his dad is like, look, kid, just don't go cruising because you're gonna get hurt. Like, no qualms
Right.
about like his gayness or anything like that. And so for him then to date like in a small town where there's like a gang. And again, if you live in a small town and you've seen gangs, like usually they're not anything. So it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to me to see how his dad handles this, whether he thinks that this Joaquin is a real threat or if he's just like, can you get this bad boy out of your system so we can go back to being normal?
Well, the
Well,
other
I
thing-
mean, I was gonna say I think he's still normal. It's just now he actually found another gay guy that he actually is interested in because Moose was just still in the closet.
Moose is gonna be Joe.
You knew it
Moose is
wasn't.
gonna be Jay. He's
That
gonna
would
be
be
pretty jealous.
first of all,
gonna be
that would
totally
be
jealous.
that would be an awesome scene. Give me a Joaquin, Moose, and Kevin just
I can't handle it.
triangle
It'll be
in my life,
too much.
and I would be so
All the
happy.
joy.
So, question though, Joaquin and Kevin, Wakev.
I love it.
I love it when you say it, Ben.
Have their moment,
But I don't
and,
like the shit.
and the sheriff, but like their place gets broken into and all the information gets ripped apart. We don't think there's any possibility that the Joaquin half of Wakev had
You mean
something
he
to do.
just showed up and then
You mean he-
catastrophe? Of course it was him. Of course.
Well,
I
I
believe
mean-
it fully.
Skeet Ulrich is just, you know, part of the entire thing because he is part of the same gang or whatever. This like really
He seems to
hot
be the leader, too.
gang that is not. I mean, they don't seem very, very threatening
They have sweet jackets though.
to
They're
me.
pretty cool.
He
You
just,
know?
I'm sorry, but
It seems like they're
unbelievably attractive
waiting
too.
for a big
What?
Instagram photo.
And the Southside Serpents
yes.
is like
Really?
perfect like hard for Riverdale, but like not hard at all in the world.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
it's the town, just not
Like
anywhere else.
hashtag hard Riverdale.
How bad can they be also if Jughead's dad is in the gang? I mean,
Wait,
I mean,
Well,
Jughead's
that's his dad.
That's his
Jughead's dad
dad.
was fired for like petty theft. So
yeah, but I'm just saying.
I don't even
like,
know like
No, that's
yeah,
what I'm
that's not-
saying.
that's not
actually, like,
threatening.
okay, so if wait a second, if Steve Ulrich is his dad and he's also, what is he like? Is he president for this gang?
He appears to be the leader.
He is the leader.
Okay, so right, so
of
I'm
the
right. So he
gang.
is the leader of the gang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still confused
Right.
by so you went from, even if you did get fired, somehow you getting fired led you to being the president now of a
Okay.
Sons of
Southside
Anarchy tells me that biker gang guys have regular jobs sometimes. They work in construction or other things,
He
whatever they
could've been
can
doing
to
both, yeah.
make.
Okay.
I mean, the bikers there had an ice cream shop, so he
And
could have
then-
just been worried. Like being in a biker gang isn't paying your bills, most likely.
Most likely.
Okay.
There's in fact actually an Archie episode or an issue from a digest from way long ago that I remember where like they meet this like really tough group, this biker gang, and like they think they're really cool and they're like, cool, we need to get jackets and like get motorcycles and like be really tough and like beat, and they they like give a bunch of attitude to Betty and Veronica and they're like, we don't want anything to do with you girls, we're tough. And then they like run into the guys at like an office and the guys are like in ties during the week
Yes.
and they're like, we have regular jobs, we just do the motorcycle thing for fun. They're like, oh, we can be tough and regular dudes. That's hilarious. I remember reading that one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
I actually want to read that now.
Yeah, it's like good luck finding it. It's in one of the thousands of Archie Digest stories that I read growing
oh,
up.
Boy.
So anyway, we are going to move into the entire like Hermione Lodge scandal.
Yes.
But before we do, I want to remind everybody that we have a brand new show coming out called The Good Fight. This is an extension of The Good Wife. It's a CBS all-access original series set in the world of The Good Wife. The Good Fight is from the creators of The Good Wife. Robert and Michelle continue as showrunners. Christine Babansky reprises her role as Diane Lockhart.
Yes, Christine.
I didn't watch The Good Wife. Did you guys?
I just know her from Mamma Mia, and I just think she's fabulous.
All I know is she wants to play Betsy DeVos on SNL, and you should let her.
Yeah, there's a lot of press for the show right now. I've seen a lot of billboards and things like that. You have a whole bunch of guest stars from The Good Wife returning, like Carrie Preston, Gary Cole, Matthew Perry. New episodes will be released on CBS All Access Sundays beginning February 19th. To start your free trial of CBS All Access, go to cbs.com/thegoodfight. That's cbs.com/thegoodfight for brand new episodes of this show. If you're a Good Wife fan, you've got to check it out.
CBS has great streaming, too. If you haven't tried their streaming service, it's beautiful.
All of the
That's
services
awesome.
are getting better and better now.
It's true.
Yeah, it's really
I actually
nice.
just canceled my cable.
You
I
don't
can do
even
this-
need
You're
it.
officially a cord cutter.
Welcome to millennials.
It's been hard for me the past few days, but there are so many different streaming services that I am paying for that it's fine.
Yeah, right. Totally.
Actually.
You can get away with
TV
it.
will save your life.
Hermione!
So, as Hermione Lodge said to Cheryl Blossom, I went to school with your mother. She was the same way. She didn't know the difference between having money and having class.
Hermione
Love
Lodge.
it was like mic drop.
That was a good
Hermione
line.
Lodge is not one of your little friends, okay? Hermione Lodge does not play with you, and she doesn't have time for your BS. Holy cow, she is queen. And it really got me excited for when we get the reveal later that Hermione is starting to take over the business and
Yeah.
run it while her husband's in prison. Because that line right there showed me that she has the potential to be the kind of badass gangster queen that I've been looking for on TV for forever. I love it when women are the head of, like, crime-affiliated family organizations. It's
I
really
would
cool.
sort of love it if Hermione Lodge slowly but surely became a villain. That would be super cool.
Give it to
No,
me
like-
because it'll tear Veronica apart. Yes, I want
Yeah,
that.
right?
No,
Yes.
but it would be a good villain. It would be a villain that had attitude,
Heart of
but
gold.
a heart of
Yes.
gold that was in her head doing it for the right reason.
I bet she maybe gets Jughead his home back at the end because she owns the land and
anti-hero or
things.
something like
Yes,
that. Yes.
absolutely.
Somebody needs to give Jughead something.
Please.
That was so
I
sad.
felt
Yeah.
like I actually did this because I was like, he actually lived it. That was his home. It wasn't just something he said to say.
It also makes a lot more sense why the plot line with him arguing to keep the drive-in all episode and like even going as far as to like confront the mayor about it and all these things, going to talk to Fred Andrews about it. It's where he lived. That's why he's fighting so hard for it. It's not just that he has memories as a kid. Like plots from teen TV shows that you often come across, the teens are like, social justice, I need to do something that's really important to me in my town because it's important. But it's like, this is my home. So if you tear it down, I have nowhere to live.
Well,
so
we
I have
get
to
a-
convince you otherwise.
And we get a lot of really good information. So we know that Archie skipped out on the road trip with Jughead. So Jughead's not in a good place. His dad has been fired and has no money, so he's kind of taking care of himself. We see a picture in the room that I presume is like a sister, but
I was thinking the same
that's
thing.
Jelly Bean. That's his sister.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we don't know
Jelly
where
Bean.
she
Another
is.
creepy sibling, like
Yeah.
a jelly bean, really?
Yeah, where's
Like,
Jelly Bean?
why would you name your child Jughead and Jelly Bean?
Is Jelly Bean with the Jughead's mom somewhere, we think, maybe?
It could be. We don't know yet. And I think that says a lot. To me, it doesn't look good. It seems like the tragic only picture I have of this person. I'm going to predict dead. But it was really cool to see, like, now we understand why Jughead is so angsty. Like, we understand, like, why he felt he couldn't go to Archie. Not just because Archie skipped out, because your dad fired my dad. Like,
Right.
And they're childhood friends, and that makes things very awkward. And it gets me excited to see, like, next week, especially now that we've learned so much about a lot of characters. We're starting to get into that second layer of skin and seeing what drives their motives. I think Jughead is got some surprises in store for us.
I think so, too. His character's developing really, really nicely. Another line from that same scene that I just absolutely effing loved was, I love when Veronica's like, you may be a stock character from a 90s teen movie, but I am not.
I know because it
Yes.
gave me all the Jawbreaker feels because that's
Yeah.
what
Oh,
Cheryl reminds me of.
Well,
Cheryl's all- yeah,
Jawbreaker.
Can we talk about Cheryl for a second? Because I am super, I love the mean girl turns, like, good.
Right.
Okay.
Not good, but just, like, realizes
bitchy?
she's a bitch.
Okay.
Right.
And, tries to be better. And Veronica was the nicest to her. She's the only person that, like, went after Cheryl when she had that breakdown in front of everybody. And she's the only person that went after her. Why would she go after Veronica and her mother? It makes me so mad.
I think
Yeah.
honestly, here's what we're getting with Cheryl right now is we're getting this back and forth of like, I need you to like me, but I need to be the most liked. And so when her friend is like, oh well, they're starting to like Veronica, she's like, wait, but her mom works here. Like, how? I'm clearly better. And then we see like she must be so lonely because when she goes to the drive-in, and she sits with Kevin and Veronica.
Yeah.
And that was
Why
her
they
old
let
And she
friend.
kept scooting, like when Kevin got up, she's like, oh, I'm going to even get closer.
Because she's sad and lonely. Like, her
Yeah.
brother, who was her best friend, is gone, and she doesn't have the social graces to make actual friends. Her friends are people that are terrified of her and just hang around.
And she calls them hair models.
And we
Yeah.
use the term best friend loosely.
Yeah,
We
but
do.
Veronica tells her like it is, and I think for a lot of people who scare people,
Yeah.
like naturally they want somebody who can get in their face and tell them like it is, and I think that's why Cheryl's hanging around.
What
Yeah, I
what I
agree.
thought was interesting, like even from last week's episode to this week's episode, is Cheryl's getting her own eye-opening experience about her brother. Like
She's learning
she's
more,
actually
yeah.
learning who her brother was, despite this beautiful soul other half she kept putting in her mind and kept putting out there. He was the best person ever.
Yeah.
It's such
And
BS.
and that's just like
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of false advertisement a little bit, but like family's family.
Yeah.
And
That's
you want to
my
believe the
thought
best.
on
You
it,
want to believe
too.
the best in family.
Yep.
Among anything, you want to believe the best in your family, and that they're there for you and you love them. So you're always blinded by their shortcomings sometimes.
Also, you kind of only see the best parts of those people. frequently.
I do get that, but I will say I have a brother that's like a year and a half younger than me, and I always call us twins. And I would never let him go out of town and be like, "Why?" I would not say, "Where are you going? What's going on, bud?"
As an
Right.
older sister, I'm with you. As a younger sister, I don't know. I'd be like, okay, you're gonna come back. You got things to do. I'll be here. You're independent.
well, the whole speculation about their parents, especially the way she was grabbed after the thing, I kind of can see maybe their parents drove him to do it a little bit, drove him to want to escape.
Well, there's definitely there's a few like loose ends, unsolved things going on in Riverdale, right? So we have Hiram Lodge from prison donating money to the mayor's campaign to get this plot of land, which from the way Hermione tells it, there's definitely more to that story and there's more going on. But that's one like devious plot, right?
Yeah.
You've also got the fact that Polly is nowhere to be found. She's in like a mental institution, so there's some plot piece there.
Or having a baby.
Something.
And it seems like we get to
Right?
bed the theory that Polly and
They're
Betty
not
are
the same person. I don't
that got
think
put to
so.
bed today.
Yeah.
There's some. I know when she says, "What's your name?" There was that moment where we're like, "Are you gonna say Polly?"
I was like,
I
oh
was
God, is
actually
this
saying to
it?
her, like, she's
Yeah.
like, but like, you have to realize I'm not my sister.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I'm a younger sister, and I got that all the time because my sister was like perfect.
Yeah.
Everyone
She was
wouldn't
the-
go along
She was
with
the
it.
straight A honor
Yeah.
student, and I wasn't. I raised tail because I'm not her.
Right.
So, like, you have to realize when you're a parent, you have two different people with two different personalities.
Yeah, definitely.
Please realize that, parents.
So
Just
we,
food for thought.
so we also have then the fact that Jason was gonna go away and run away and do something that we don't really understand. That Cheryl
Sure.
doesn't seem to understand fully. She thought she had a grasp on it. She doesn't. He was bound and kept alive for a week, and then he was killed, right? And they found him. So all of these things I think do add up to some. There's some, and then you have Miss Grundy, which is
Yeah.
the other one that could be related and connect somehow.
Well, and now you have a potentially corrupt mayor who's
Right.
willing to do back end deals.
What do you
with,
mean
like,
potentially?
I mean, like, she kind of, like,
She did help drive down. Okay, yeah, no. So you have a corrupt mayor too, which to me could spin off into a lot of other crazy things.
So you have all of these things could connect to solve the murder mystery, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's connected pieces
More
amongst
murders.
all of these things. So I think that when we're talking about what's going on with Hermione and this dynamic and everything, Cheryl's relation to her brother, what she knew, what she didn't know, finding out more about him, or what would you let your sibling leave? I just think a lot of it, this will be revealed by the end of the season, in some degree, like who knows what. And they'll have to struggle to create a new plot for season 2 because
I don't think we're gonna. Again, I think we're gonna go. We're gonna Desperate Housewives it, and it's gonna be a continuing thing where it's like we're still like we get closer to understanding the characters and their secrets, but we keep getting further away from solving the murder, which I'm really hoping is what happens. Because as much as I want to know, part of what keeps bringing me back is the fact that I don't know.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm thinking more like a season 2 of Veronica Marathon because, like, we'll solve it, but it'll lead to a different whole new side of the mystery.
New buried body. We gotta
or
figure it
something
out.
like a whole new side of this town that hasn't been explored till after this murder started, like the murder happened.
Let's
see it.
just hope it's not a True Detective season 2 situation.
Oh God.
Real bummer. So we have the end of Grundy
Yes.
that culminates with Alice Cooper and this whole entire I'm looking out for my kid, I'm looking out for your kids. She tells Fred that they want nothing to do with Archie, blah blah blah. They find Miss Grundy and Archie just after Archie gives her this bow that he sold a guitar for. It was supposed to be a goodbye gift, and just for 1 second we were like, oh man, is this gonna resolve happily? We're gonna get away with this? This is great. She's gonna stay around.
I was actually just waiting on that door to open. Like,
I
I didn't know
know.
when it was gonna happen, but like I knew that door was gonna open at some point.
I found it a euphemism for what Archie really wants his manhood to look like. And he's like, oh, hey, Miss Grundy, keep this with you forever.
Oh. Maybe.
Along both staff. Go ahead.
Guys, I'm joking, but I'm actually not joking.
So they get walked in on, and this is where the entire whole thing about like how did it end the way it ended, and why did they not like call for more justice? Because that, like I said, we're seeing it entirely through Archie's point of view. Fred is seeing it through Archie's point of view. Like there's a lot of like connected pieces that nobody referenced, which is that we know you were at the lake with Archie that morning, right? Nobody is talking about the fact that like you guys were there, so what did you see? Let's get the two of you in a room and interview you because there's a dead person. We're also dealing with the fact that you're a teacher, this kid's 15, we know you tutored the other kid that looked just like him last year who's now dead. What do you know about that kid? Were you hooking up with that kid? Like, why do you have a gun and your ID from your old identity in your car still? And if you really are somebody else, why do you have the name of somebody who died here 7 years ago? Geraldine Grundy is a pretty rare name.
That is.
It's a pretty weird name to pick.
I will say that I don't necessarily think we're seeing it through Archie's eyes. I think that we're seeing it almost through Jughead's, because for me personally, I'm looking on this and I'm being like, oh no, like you did this, you did that. I'm like above Archie just because he's a kid and I get it. Like, but I see what's happening from a higher view, just like Jughead does. And that's the amazing thing about Jughead being the narrator of this entire show, is that like he is the bird watching the entire town, and that to me, like that's the eyes that I'm seeing it through.
I mean, I can see why, like, you know, like, she's gonna let go, one, because Betty's like, if you do keep going forward with this, I will say I lied about everything. I will put myself in harm's way to save Archie, because what you're doing right now is being totally unreasonable.
Yeah.
One, trying to
the one time Alice is being reasonable. Y'all know I hate this woman. She's awful. I cheered when she got punched in the face last episode.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
But we love Machen Amick.
Oh, the actress is wonderful.
Love
but
her.
no, it's the one time Alice is doing like the right thing. The one time,
but it's for the wrong reason.
No one cares. Put Grundy in jail.
Yeah, I agree.
I can't.
So
yeah.
So that resolves, and Grundy gets in the car, and we see her pull the move where she like looks at the kids with the Lolita glasses again, and then we have this exchange between Betty and Archie with I'm sorry, and he's like, you were trying to do the right thing. They smile, so they're like, all right, great. She still loves him. She says, love makes you do crazy things, so that's just going to continue and continue, and they will end up together, as I keep saying.
Yes,
and then
game.
lastly, we have Jughead, who we see him with his dad, and so Jughead has this really touching scene, which was really sad actually, and I got a little emotional watching it.
Yeah.
It was him and his sister, and you realize that he's been living in this projection room, and that's his home, and his dad got laid off, or fired.
And is also like a crazy criminal lord.
Yeah, now Jughead's like about to go Jack Kerouac.
Thank you.
I mean,
he's gonna go on the
he is
road.
aged fantastically, Skeet Ulrich. You know, I've said this for weeks. Like, he is going to be on the show, and he is one of my favorite horror like movie villains.
Skeet
ever.
Ulrich is poor man's Johnny Depp from Scream, right?
I like him way better than Johnny
You can't
Depp.
just say Billy. Like, you just have to say
Like in the 90s, in the late 90s, wasn't he like, he was
Yes.
poor man's Johnny Depp, right? He looked just like Johnny Depp, but he was
Okay,
nowhere near as
yes,
famous. Am I
we'll
wrong?
do that.
To me, he
Dennis
was
Quaid
his
is
own.
poor man's Kevin Costner. Like, these things
But can I
exist.
just say, he has grown into such a sexy man. What is with Luke Perry and him just grown into sexy grown
That's what
father
men
figures?
do. They age like wine, we age like milk.
I mean, no disrespect to Skeet Ulrich. I'm not saying that in any way being a poor man's Johnny Depp is a bad thing. I'm just saying. Johnny Depp's like
Johnny
one of
Depp
those,
is really wealthy, so if you're a poor man's Johnny Depp, you're still fine.
he's also one of those handsome guys ever, and the reference is the fact that he looks just like one of the most handsome guys ever. So.
And he doesn't need to say a lot of words. He's just like, what are you doing here? And we're all like,
brooding.
I have a lot of questions for him though. Like, why don't you care that your son is homeless? Did you try to recruit him into your biker gang family, or was he just like, no, I'm not about that life? Where's your daughter? Like, he seems to have such a lack of caring about anything.
Okay,
Jughead's
I have a
probably
theory for that.
blackmailing, yeah.
I have such a theory for that. Okay, so I think that Jughead just decided to, like, you know, get out. Like, once his dad's like, oh, I'm going to take over, maybe, like, kind of distance himself. Because, you know, when he said, now we're going to go, it's kind of like he was hoping that he'd come back.
So the gang.
It was
or
like a
something,
way,
yeah.
like, for him, like, I want you to come back.
Okay.
So speaking of that, let's actually get into predictions and share our thoughts on these sort of things.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So why don't you start with where you think Jughead is going to go? What do you think?
I think Jughead's gonna be fine. Like, he seems like the type of person, he's always gonna, no matter, even if he's at his lowest, he's gonna be able to keep on going and keep on just being Jughead.
I think
keep persevering.
I think Jughead is one of those people who kind of revels in being in pain and being ousted, like, on the outsides of things. And so I think he's going to try to tough it out first. I think he's going to be like, no, I'm going to, like, Jack Kerouac and just walk around town and my backpack and be, like, sad and upset. And then eventually Archie's going to be like, so what's up, bro? Like, you should probably come
I
live
can
with
see
me for a
that.
bit.
I can admit, I'll see that.
Being homeless gets pretty old after like 2 days.
Yeah, right? No, it's no longer romantic.
Yeah.
until you make it like your thing, and you know, that, well, he's not in his drive-in movie.
No,
era
and he
anymore.
can't go on the road because he's in school.
I know, and he will find another thing super easily. I think that Jughead is actually, it's not Archie. Jughead is our guy. He is the guy that we're
I
following.
think it's his story.
That's what I think. I do think it's his story, and it's through his eyes. And I think that because of the narration, and I love it. And I think that he has a super honest take on things, and I think that he knows I think he might be blackmailing his father, to be quite honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
But what?
Like, why else would his father be like, I mean, I get he's a crappy guy, but be like, okay, sure, go away. Like, and he seems like he cares about him.
Yeah.
A normal father. Well, why would he be there?
Like how would you know just to be there? Like there you got paid off. You have no other reason to be there. You'd have to know.
You're just gonna rub it
feel maybe I did not get caring feelings of like you can't go out there and live by yourself.
Right,
or,
exactly.
You know, like
15. What are you doing?
Like maybe call this person. Like I know you're mad at me, but like try going here. Like all he was like, so where are you gonna live now?
Or like here's some money. You are 15.
I really think he came there to be like, you failed, so you're coming back with me now, right? And then he was Jughead's like, nah, I'm good.
Something like that.
Yeah. I don't feel the love.
Yeah. I think that my biggest prediction here is that Grundy's a much more important point in the murder mystery and
Do you think it has to do with Sabrina at all?
I don't know about that, but I know that I think Grundy's gonna disappear
I really liked that prediction.
for a few episodes, but I think she comes back. And I think she's a really big part of this story. I just don't know exactly how she's gonna fit in, but that's definitely a big one for me.
Yeah, and sooner rather than later.
And one other thing I want to point out is that I do think, like I said this before, the parents' relationships are kind of reflecting the kids' relationships. And the way that I saw Alice and Fred and Hermione, the three of them, you know, it made me think, whoa, was Fred the Archie? And it did not end well. Didn't end well with anybody. And that's why they all hate each other.
Mama Lodge and Mama McCoy are going to not be doing well soon, and I bet I really have a strong feeling that oh my gosh, names. Redheaded chick.
Cheryl.
Yes, the Blossoms. I think the Blossoms are going to find out, and we're going to start to see like a political division. Like we saw Cheryl and Josie like be tight, and we know their families are tight, and she's like, the Blossoms can never find out that I did this. Oh, they find out, and hopefully next episode.
Yeah,
they want that drama.
It'll explode. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna wrap up our thoughts on tonight's episode of Riverdale. We will be back same time, same place next week. Sam, where can the folks find you, and what other shows are you doing?
You guys can find me, Sam Davidson, entertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram, SamD43. I'm also doing the Vampire Diaries. Last few episodes we're taping on Sundays, and I'm so obsessed with it, which I know a lot of you guys are. Also, you can find me on Shadowhunters on Tuesdays, so please check them out.
Hey guys, I'm Chae Jones. You can find me at Real Chae Jones. You can find me actually in about 5 minutes on Doubt. Starting tonight, we're talking about the pilot episode. You can also find me on Powerless and Bull on Tuesday nights.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique, every week at blackgirlnerds.com. Wednesdays doing The Magicians, Powerless earlier in the day today, and then Star Wars Rebels comes back on Sunday, and I'm really excited to talk about the new look and feel of the show. It's going to be great. Also, if you want to head over to Collider and watch last week's episode of Schmoes Know, I was on there. Tell me like me as a host. Maybe they'll have me back, and then you can come check me and Ben doing the debate.
Yeah, we're gonna have a sweet Schmodown trivia challenge coming up on March 14th, which we're so excited about. It's a team match. You can find me at Ben Bateman Media on Twitter and Instagram. I do this show. I do the 100 on Wednesdays at the same time, 10 o'clock. Walking Dead on Sundays, and my show Action Movie Anatomy, which talks about the best action movies of all time on the Popcorn Talk Network. 12:30 on Wednesdays. Check that show out.
They just did John Wick 2. It's super good.
Yeah, we did John Wick 2. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.